Pisces, and welcome to your reading for October the 30th through November the 5th. Sorry. This is a general reading, Pisces. So if you'd like a personal reading, that information will be below in the description box on YouTube. If you know your moon and rising, all the links to the other videos will also be below. Give it a day or two. So sometimes it takes me a while to upload and get everything on there. Thank you for all the love last week. It was amazing. Thank you so much. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Comment and share your experience. I'm so, I read all the comments, I respond to them all, and I really appreciate it when you take the time to do that. And share this video if you feel inspired, and subscribe if you haven't already. So without further ado, let's go to your cards. Oh, also please follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Those links are below also. So we get the first card that comes up is the Nine of Swords, right? And the Nine of Swords is, look, it's so funny because that came to me. Nine of Swords is kind of known as the sleepless nights, you know, kind of persecuted, but it's also known as the drama queen card. Now, I'm looking at your other cards, and I'm thinking that you have kind of a little battle going on with someone. You've got some kind of I don't want to say, there's some kind of, you've been at war with someone basically, and this has been, you know, somebody's been very mean to you and just not saying nice things. Somebody's not being, somebody's being vindictive, stabbing you in the back, but you know who it is, and it's not, it's been kind of a battle that's been going on for a little while, I feel. And I feel that it's kind of got a little out of hand. You have the Five of Swords that's come up, and, you know, perhaps this is... You've also got the King of Swords, right? Which kind of came on top of the Five of Swords. So either somebody was saying something rather mean and cutting, or you were saying something rather mean and cutting, and it has become a bit of a battle. And when the Five of Swords comes up, it's saying, listen, this battle can't be won. Sorry to say this, Pisces. This is asking you to look at your limitations, and sometimes it's better to humbly accept defeat for this battle. It doesn't mean you haven't won the war, but this battle is definitely not winnable. So sometimes it's better to cut your losses and get out. It's not good for you. It is causing you sleepless nights, and even if it's not sleepless nights, it's definitely negative scenarios. It's that, you know, it's that intellect, because the swords are intellect. So it's like constantly thinking about this situation, constantly going over and over in your head, you know, the worst case scenario. And it's you know, this situation is renting space in your head. So what I always say when someone's renting your space in your head is raise the rent and kick them out. Raise the rent, darling. Kick them out. This is about cutting your losses, letting this go. It's about humbly backing out. It's like, okay. I see you're bigger and stronger here, and I am going to retreat. This is about retreating, and it's about, listen, a false sense of pride. It's like, just, you know, let it go. This battle is not worth the fight. That's what it's saying. We all, underneath the Nine of Swords, which is the sleepless nights, the negative, you know, this is so apropos. Actually, I get blown away with this, right? So you've got this, which is like what we call in the meditation world is the monkey brain. It's like going on and on and on and on, right? And underneath it, we have the high priestess. Now, the high priestess is she's got all this wisdom, right? She's very knowledgeable. She's got all the spells. She's got all the, you know, ancient texts. She has the knowledge. She doesn't share it easily. But when she comes up, it's saying, listen, that knowledge is within. You can tap into that. You know, take the spiritual road, right? Put down the sword, and meditate. And there's never been such an urgent call to meditate as there has been in this year, really, in the last couple of years. It's very important to meditate. We have to quieten that monkey brain, right? We have to quieten it. You know, I was just talking with my sister and I was saying, you know, I meditate all the time with the cards. I have to meditate, but I meditate with the cards with an intention for the truth to come out and blah, 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 blah. So with me, I'm like, oh yeah, I meditate all the time, right? So recently I started my personal meditation, you know, my every morning I wake up and I meditate for about half an hour, and it's very apparent to me. It's been very difficult to, when I meditate before the cards, I just get really zoned in really easily. But when I actually sit down to meditate, you know, for my own connection, for personal reasons, right, to connect with Source on a sustained level for a half an hour, wow. I really have noticed recently that my mind is going off on everybody's scenario. Not just mine, I'm going off on other people's, I'm going into their, and I thought to myself, wow, that chatter is going on in the background all day long. I may not hear it, but trust me, it's there. So I say all that to say that it's so important. We're going to get these epiphanies. We're going to understand our limitations. We're going to see the truth in the situation. We have this incredible super full moon on Saturday the 4th, you know, depending where you are in the world, right? But this is happening for us on the 4th here in America, in the Northern Hemisphere, on the 4th of November. And it's this huge super full moon in Taurus. Now, what's really fascinating about this full moon, right, this particular full moon, is that it is opposing the sun in Scorpio. Now, that might be a contentious energy. However, we have Neptune in Pisces, right, trining the sun and sextile the moon. So this is a beautiful, harmonious energy. And this is highly manifesting. It's really, really important to focus on what's working in our lives. Now, if we've got all that chatter going on in our head, how can the universe figure out what we are feeling? Look, the universe will match your feelings. I've said this before. Thoughts are electric, feelings are magnetic. So all those, you know, all those scenarios going in our head are taking us on an emotional roller coaster, up and down, and we get involved. So we have to quieten the mind. We have to have that intention of where we're going. So the journey within, we have to get deep. We have to know what's going on with us. We have to love. Look, the sun in Scorpio. Scorpio is about, we're all light and dark beings, right? We're all multifaceted people. We have a shadow side. All of us. There isn't one person. Even the Dalai Lama has a shadow side, and I'm sure he's aware of it. We have a shadow side. We cannot deny that shadow side, and we can't come out and say, oh yeah, I'm really good and I just help people. That's, yeah, I think that sometimes, but that's not the truth. That's me in denial. Guess what? I have a shadow side. Now this time we have to acknowledge that shadow side. Love it. Embrace the whole of us, the dark and the light, right? Without darkness, we wouldn't know light, right? Without chaos and turmoil, we wouldn't know peace. Without good, there's no bad. There's the yin yang in life. That's what it is. It's the balance. And coming into that, we have, talking of balance, we have the Chariot, right? So I say all this because we need to go inside. We need to love ourselves. We need to love the dark and the light in us. We need to love the whole of us so that we can be balanced and move forward with a really clear intention. Listen, I always say that the full moon is a manifesting oven. Write down your intentions, and not like, I want a car, I want a relationship, I want this. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, how would it feel if you got what you wanted? Describe that feeling. Describe the elation that it would feel. Get into that feeling. Write that down. Really, your intention should be the feeling if you have it. So you have to imagine yourself to have your desires in order to be able to think about that feeling. That is what you've got to capture. The law of attraction is the feeling of it. Now, having said that, make sure that what you are desiring is for the higher good of everyone, right? We are moving into the age of Aquarius. It's about helping each other. It's about supporting each other. It's about bringing each of us up. It's about being brought up, and it's about giving, and it's about receiving. You have to receive, and you have to learn to receive also. I think that was the hardest for me, learning to receive. But this is all about giving, receiving, you know. So the Chariot has come up, right? Now, he's interesting in this card. The Chariot is about triumph, but triumph after a difficult time, right? This is about somebody who's really been through kind of a rough time and has persevered and has expertly, look, it's about opposing forces. It's about yin and yang, right? It's so fascinating that everything kind of comes full circle, right? So this is about yin and yang. This is about bringing these forces together and making them work in harmony, right? That's what this is. It's about opposing forces. It's about, look, the opposing forces is the full supermoon in Taurus and the sun in Scorpio, right? Now, don't forget that Venus rules Taurus. Now, it also rules Aries, and it's in Aries right now. So we've got all that. You've got this mishmash of energies. It's really kind of beautiful. All these different energies are kind of coming together harmoniously. So this is a very, very powerful time. It is very important to focus, right? This is a focus card, focus and determination. This is about focusing, being present in the moment, and it's about feeling good. This expert Chariot driver has, or whatever he's called, I call him a driver, right? He is balancing these opposing energies, and he's so focused and he's determined to go. Now, this is fast energy, guys. So this is fast energy that's coming in triumphantly. So don't be here in this sleepless night, and don't be here in this conflict. You need to understand your limitations. Get out of it. It's a waste of energy, this is. This is not worth it. Go inside. Meditate. Focus. Really bring your focus into play. Right? And balance. This is about balance and focus and determination. And you have... This is interesting because it's a fluid reading. So there's no kind of, it's not like this is going to happen at the beginning of the week, this is going to happen in the middle. No, it's not. It's a fluid reading. So any of these things can happen during the week. These are the energies that are going to come in. This is what you need to be aware of so that you can navigate through these energies. You know, back out from this fight. You know, you don't have to fight it to the end. So now you know. You know, how brilliant is that, right? And you have the Ace of Swords, which is telling you, this is interesting, right? Because this is telling you can be triumphant and you can get through any situation, right? The Ace of Swords is telling you you can cut through all the, I want to say you can cut through all the bullshit, because that's what you can do. You can cut through it. You can, you know, cut through all this crap. You know, you can move on, darling. Move on, Pisces. You don't need to hold on. This is about being decisive. It's something that you have a difficult time with, don't you? We know, Pisces, sometimes can be a little wishy-washy. So this is going to be easy for you. You're very spiritual. You know you can go inside. You can tap into the priestess's energy. Now we have here the Death card, right? And the Death card really means a complete inner transformation. And it is so what's going on with this, with astrologically. We have so much going on. It's like really kind of an it's an opportunity to change. We are being asked to change. We are being asked to go forward different. We need to really, this is definitely about embracing your dark side as well, your shadow side. This is about loving you as a whole person, warts and all. You know, I just said this on the last reading. You know, Cromwell had that. He was the first one. He had that portrait done, and he said, "I want it to be natural. I want you to," because you know, you have back then they would do these portraits, paint these portraits, and make everyone look pretty, and you know, erase all their, you know, skin issues like they do in the magazines today. You know, airbrushed, only there they would just paint it out, right? So he said, you know, "I want you to paint me warts and all," and they did. That's a very famous painting. So this is like, we have to love ourselves, warts and all, you know, the good and the bad. And we just have to just accept ourselves as we are. And things are going to come up. Definitely things are going to come up. And this is, you know, look, Scorpio is about getting deep, going deep in. We are definitely not going to be satisfied with superficial relationships. Our relationships must be very deep, or we're going to kind of move on and let them fall away. So this is about a transformation, an internal transformation. This is about rebirth. And it's so interesting because Scorpio is about death and rebirth, right? Because when you start, you know, in October, November, you look out and, you know, all the leaves are dying and the trees are dying. Only we know that there's going to be a rebirth in the spring, right? So this is, with the seasons, things have to die in order to bring the new up. So this to me is like, you are definitely something's really going to change for you in your life. Now, usually this is like a spiritual epiphany, a total rebirth of you know, changing the way you look at life and see life, and changing the way you go forward. And I just see triumph as well. So you've got these two cards, right? This is triumph through a difficult period, right? And you've got the Six of Wands, which is the end of a period and just getting accolades and really rising up. So I see you rising like a phoenix, right? So things are changing. This could mean that people in your life are going to be removed, or you're going to remove them. You're going to go forward renewed, and you will be triumphant, and you'll rise above it all, you know, and you'll have this power that's going to come in and help you move forward. These are new beginning, right? This is very strong, you know, sword, and this is the Ace of Swords. And look, there's fruit in the trees above. Like, look, there's definitely, This is out of turmoil, right? Sometimes this is the silver lining in the cloud, right? So from this, situation, you will get this brilliant, and of course you're going to go inside. You're going to be very spiritual and you're going to meditate, right? You are going to meditate. It's very important for you to meditate, Pisces. And this is something that comes out. This is an opportunity, right? Or an idea, or the start of something wonderful comes out of something not so great, right? So I see triumph and I see a major internal change for you, Pisces. I feel that you're going to be reborn, and things are going to be different for you going forward. You're going to see life differently. You're going to go forward, I think, more spiritually based. And I think that will be really good for you. I think you've kind of been in the physical plane a little and too mired in other people's stuff. And I feel that you're going to see it and you're going to come up triumphant. Pisces, thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you a wonderful manifesting week. Don't forget, make those intentions. I love you all, and I'll see you next week. For a personal reading, please email Mary at liveinthesolution.com.